Namaste, everyone, and welcome back to the discussion on 12 Rashi, 12 Lagna, and different aspects of Dharma, 5th house, 9th house. We have discussed Aries through Virgo. Now we are going to discuss Tula, or Libra in English.
Yeah,
Dr. Dharmesh, would you like to start?
definitely. So, viewers, you might have enjoyed the new concept of a 12 sign and 12 ascendant, and hope you start applying it, creating the curiosity, and do see into the very micro level. If you go to the micro level, then only you will find a real pearl of astrology. Thus, our Rishi and sages has not given anything on the surface. You have to go inside, then only you come to know why this person is like such. So now come back to the second part of our this discussion. Now we are starting with the Libra. Libra, the sign or the full name of a Libra is a liberation. I believe that so. So it's a this sign is a liberation. They want some new innovative things. Again, the Venus comes, but here the Venus is not in the mode of a pleasure, but he is a mode of change, because here the half sign is ended. The first six sign has ended, and this is the second term of the sign start from Libra. So Libra, if you observe the symbol is also balancer. It's a balancer where your deeds will be minutely being measured and accordingly appropriate result will be awarded. So that kind of a balance here the Libra sign is having, that what kind of a deeds you are doing and what kind of a reward you are getting. So in between this, the Libra sign has come, and the more powerful thing is that being a chara, being a movable sign, here that's again the change of materialistic in the Aries, emotional things in the Cancer, but here it is a balance of both the things. So that kind of a balance in the movable sign is hardly seen. Sometimes viewers also, or we researcher also get surprised that why two extreme thing has been kept together. Like here, if you observe, the Libra is a movable sign that we all know, but movable sign with the balance symbol. So that's a controversy or the total reverse. It is not that our sages don't know and just by randomly they put this, but they really means that why the Libra needs a balance, because of a high movable sign. After the two movable sign, here the Leo, if you observe the Kalpurusha, then you will come to know why the Libra has been a balancer, because here it's a seventh house. The Kalpurusha seventh sign or seventh house is a Libra, where you need to be balanced with others. In Aries, you are yourself. In this Cancer, Karka, you are into the pleasure. You don't need to be balanced. But here you want a balance, because now your interaction with the mass, you will be facing the mass. Seventh house is nothing but the facing the mass, facing the crowd, facing the opposite person. So here, how your energy you balance when you are in front of the mass, in front of your people to whom you are facing. So here the balancer has been kept, and they are carrying what they are carrying. They are carrying the high spirituality of a past life, being a Aquarius sign in the fifth house with the fixed sign. That's the fixed sign. Aquarius is there, so that comprise in the fifth house with the strong karmic depth, the strong karmic depth of the Saturn deeds of a last birth, past birth. Now they are balancing in the Libra. With the movable, they have to go ahead also, because the movable sign means to move ahead. So with the moving, the fixed karmic karmas, they are introducing the movable karmas in their life. because certain time it happens that you will not access the whole karmic things. We all believe that the Libra ascendant, we believe all the strong leaders, we don't have to name, but all strong leaders, they born in the Libra ascendant. Why? Because they want a liberation from their past deeds, from the deeds of the others, and to the people they face. So they see the things in the society, what the things are prevailing, and they want some liberation, and they come forward as the seventh sign in the ascendant. That means that's a priority of their life now, and they are facing the people, they are fighting for the people and bringing the liberalization. And what will be the outcome after putting this all the efforts by the Libra people? What the outcomes they will be going to happen? They will be accumulating a high intellectual level of both, being the Gemini sign in the ninth house. That means they are balancing their deeds with the movable as well as the fixed, and what they are going to create in the next life. Again, you can refer the Gemini here. What we have speak about the Gemini, as Kṣaṇāti has also has mentioned new enthusiasm and many things about the Gemini, that you can show here that what will be the future and the outcome of this Libra people. So here the balance of a movability, balance of a fixed deeds converted into the movable deeds, that's balance that Libra people are doing without expecting anything. See the Taurus sign expecting that after hard working I want a pleasure. That's a sign of a bull. That is why the bull has placed in the Virgo, but that's a balancer put in the Libra. That how to balance after putting so many efforts of your past deeds, that not going to change. That's a fixed deeds. You are trying to creating some soft deeds, some temporary deeds, and you are balancing with this. So that's a beauty of a Libra ascendant, and that's just an opposite. I believe that the Libra ascendant people are just a reflection of yourself. Those who are facing a Libra people, suppose I am facing at the moment, you all viewers as well as Ksanati, those having a Libra ascendant, out of all you, those having a Libra ascendant, they will catch my things faster, because they are always in the priority of their life for the masses, for the people to whom they are facing, to the people them to whom they are reporting. So that kind of a Libra people we need more in the life. I've seen many Libra people as a good leader, because many people follow them. They have a qualities of the people and the mass to hypnotize and to create and divert the others view towards them. So that beauty things the people are having. So yeah, you put your inputs at the moment, Kṣaṇāti.
That was beautiful analysis of Tula. One thing I find fascinating about this Rashi or Lagna is that it does indicate a certain energy, but there are evolved version of this vibration, and there are very unevolved version of this vibration. And whenever you get through any Lagna, you look at this highest spiritually evolved version of this vibration, and there's also a less evolved, someone who is not seeking a spiritual path, and what are the challenges of that vibration. I have a special affinity for Libra. My Venus and Moon are conjunct in Libra in the ninth house. So I know I have much karma to work with this energy, and in Vishaka Nakshatra. So a few things is, as mentioned, depending on the evolution with Tula, you can find someone who is very extreme. And again, these are circumstances to life or circumstances to the personality. But what is the greater lesson, what is happening? And Tula Lagna is ruled by Shukraya, Venus. And Venus wants us to be in harmony and balance with all things. Venus wants us to be in harmony, peace, and balance with all things. And Tula works to help us find balance, to help us find peace, to help us find harmony. However, the process of finding peace or harmony, it's not an easy path, because in order to find this path of harmony, we have to experience different extremes. We see this commonly in religion. This is a good example because we see this commonly in religion. We see some people who are very radical in their religious beliefs. They are so radical and extreme in their understanding of God that they will try to convert other people. This is common. We see attempting to convert. We've also seen acts of violence. On the other side of the extreme, you have what you call atheism. You have these people that say God doesn't exist. You have these people that say God isn't real. So on two extremes, right, neither of these paths could be the correct path. This is what Tula tries to teach us. And so for Tula Lagna, we are always trying to be in the middle. We are always trying to be in balance. We are always trying to be in harmony. And I think there is something very specific about the different, what we call kingdoms. We have the plant kingdom, which is Mother Earth, which is Mother Nature. We have the animal kingdom, which is all of the animals on the earth. We have the human kingdom. We also have the celestial kingdom, all of the devas. So we have Tula to have a balanced relationship with all of these different kingdoms. We cannot be extreme. So the Dharma on the most evolved version of the Tula Lagna is to be completely refined, sophisticated, moderate, balanced, have good relationship with animals, have good relationship with nature, have good relationship with fellow men, not just family and friends, but also stranger, also homeless, also other people who suffer. This is the most evolved dharmic vibration, but we must experience extremes. And so if you're a Tula Lagna or you have strong Libra energy in your chart, I'm sure you can be extreme at one time of your life or another. But eventually that will balance out. You will find a place of harmony. Let us not be extreme. Let us not be radical. Let us be very balanced and harmonious in our approach. This is the Libra Dharma. This is the Libra vibration. And there's also the scales. There's also the scales, which has to do with fairness. And fairness not just for yourself, but fairness for all of mankind. Fairness regardless of race. Fairness regardless of gender. Fairness regardless of religion. This is the type of fairness and harmony and balance which the Libra Lagna is going for. And it's okay to experience extremes in order to get there. But just to remember that the extreme act is not the final destination. It's supposed to help you find your way back to the middle. So that's how I feel about Libra. I hope that was beneficial. Thank you.
Yes. Purely an mirror image. The Libra people are nothing but a purely and mirror image. And they always see the other's life, they learn and they turn. So that's the qualities of a Libra. I like it. In spite of a Venus tendency of pleasure, they are still not being attracted toward the Venus, but they try to balance it. So that's a beauty the people is having. So certainly we'll move to the Scorpio. And whenever the name of a Scorpio comes, as I told you that the name of Cancer is a scary, at the same way the name of a Scorpio is also scary. And we know that very small insect, because it's this is a very small sign of 12 out of 12. That's given the symbol of a small insect as a Scorpio. But in the Kalpurus, if we focus, then the Kalpurus is the 8th house, 8th sign. So 8th sign, 8th house, that's where the life turn. your reality turn into the spirituality. That turning, that dark phase comes in everybody's life. That's a Scorpio. Wherever your Scorpio sign is placed in your chart, in your entire chart, wherever the Scorpio sign is placed, that time, whenever the your the Shah start or any planet transit, like Saturn in the Saturn return or Jupiter, that means you will be coming out from the dark. And Scorpio people, normally you will find Scorpio Ascendant or Scorpio people in the R&D research, because it's a sign of a mistake, it's a sign of a new invention. So why invention is required? Because you need to change. You have to come out from the dark. Eighth house is a very dark. The people die. When people die, they don't come back. So that's the eighth house. So what left is your dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, all the four stages after the eighth house. Now, being a Scorpio in the ascendant, the Mars is ruling. Again, the Aries Mars. Just think about the Aries Mars, which is ruling in the Aries sign. Here, the Scorpio rules. And here in Scorpio, the Mars has very little say. Being the sign of a watery, being a sign of water, being a sign of a fix, because again here it's a sign of fix appear. So being a sign of a fix, being a sign of a water, again the confusion is created. Fix water, how the water can be fixed. So that things, speciality of a Scorpio things, and that is why the Scorpio is turned to be a specific ascendant. Being Mars of Aries, being it's in the fiery sign, have a full strength of its determination and strong willpower. Here, that willpower lack, and that is why person has to turn into the new research, new invention, new dimension has to be in search. So always the Scorpio people, Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio moon people, always try to bring a new truth invented to the certain new fact, and they will cater the nation that this is a right fact. Even the research can be re-researched, because we see the search can be researched. They re-research the thing. So that's the Scorpio people having. Here the sign is a fix, so they will hardly touch any movable kind of deeds in their life, because from past life they brought the good deeds from the sign of a Jupiter, that is a Pisces. But there the two kind of deeds they have brought, movable as well as a fix. In this life they only search, they are only inclined toward the only fixed kind of a deeds, and they are only focusing the fixed deeds and completing entire fixed deeds in this life of what they have brought from past life. They will be continuing into the movable deeds balance only, because in the ninth house again the Cancer happens. So their next life will be highly emotional. So whatever the knowledge they brought from the past life, whatever the accumulation of energy, accumulation of research in this life, that both turn into the emotional level in the next life. But the Scorpio people or Scorpio ascendant people having very good spiritual life or holistic life in the rest of their life, means last phase of a life, or in next life, it is guaranteed that they will be turned into some saint, they will be turned into the high soul and going to change so many life in the future. So I like a Scorpio ascendant on the base of the extremity of fixed sign and watery element. So that element and sign nature both differs, and here the Mars of a tendency to aggrieve. Mars is only a very fast, very aggressive nature, aggressive kind of nature. Here that aggression can't be seen, and that will be giving a stability in the aggression. So they will only focus on the fixed karmic depth and not going to move, touch any movable. All the movable deeds will be converted in the next life. So I like the Scorpio in the corner of a Mars, Jupiter. They both have having sharing the same nature of a fiery, but later on the both far turn into the water. They will turn into that disaster as created by the Mars in the first and fifth house. That will be all come into the natural flow in their next life. So that's my input about Scorpio. You can put your inputs now, Kṣaṇāti.
Thank you, Dr. Dharmesh. Yes, Vrishika or Scorpio, it's a scary word, but don't be scared. It's funny because as we get into this part, these are the signs which I am biased towards. And I'm just joking that I am biased towards them because I have positions in my chart in lots of these signs. So my Sun and Mercury are in Jyotish Nakshatra in my 10th house. So I have strong Scorpio position. And I actually had a pet scorpion when I was younger. He was a dark blue Ethiopian scorpion, and he was beautiful. And
Wow.
I named him Selassie, and he was a very strong scorpion. And so I have always felt this strong connection to this sign, and yes, there are challenges with it, but it's the most transformative lugna out there. The people who are born under this lugna, their life is fixed to transform because Scorpio is a fixed sign, but it also represents this watery type of transformation in which the person goes through rebirth. However, in order to go through rebirth, first you have to die.
Yes.
But the good thing is that the death is not literal. The death is metaphoric, or it's symbolic. It's the death of your old self. It's the death of the person who you used to be. It's the death of the version of yourself which no longer serves you. So that's where all of the research and investigation and all of that curiosity comes in. Because the Scorpio Lugna, they will be curious to know that which they do not know. I joke around with my clients, it's Curious George syndrome. Curious George is the little monkey, and he becomes curious about everything, and he has to figure out what it is. But basically, sometimes because of the Scorpio vibration, that which you are curious about, it's outside of the box. Not always is the Scorpio curiosity within society or within norms. And again, if Rahu or Ketu there, this is going to be way more extreme. But there is this energy in which, okay, I'm curious about something and I have to investigate my curiosity. I have to research my curiosity, which means I have to get to the root of what I'm trying to figure out. If it's something that I'm seeking, Scorpio will be the one to get to the bottom of it. They will get to the root. They will get to the answer, and they will do whatever it takes in order to get there. Now, in the process of this investigating and researching, they will toss out whichever doesn't serve them. That's kind of a Mars energy. They're investigating, but they're also throwing away what does not resonate, throwing away that does not make sense to them. So a Scorpio-like person, they'll be very interested in something, but if there might be some aspect about it that they have no interest in, or that they have complete disinterest in. For example, if you're an astrologer, you may have a very strong disinterest in the outer planets like Uranus, Pluto, Neptune. People feel very strongly about these things. Either you should or should not pay attention to them. But in any case, the Scorpio person wants to investigate these things. There is this investigation research. Now, when you find something which resonates with you, that's when this transformation starts to occur, because you will have found something out, and whatever you found out, you're not the same person anymore. Because the person that will wake up tomorrow will be a different version of yourself. So because whatever you found, for example, if you had no religion, but then you started doing chanting and you found Hinduism as your religion, and then you started practicing Hinduism, and then you had to have this in your life every day for the rest of your life. This is just an example of how there used to be this old version of yourself which didn't even believe in religion, and now you're yourself a devoted saint. Now yourself a devoted monk. So these are the types of profound transformations that can occur. If it's focused materially, the Scorpio energy, sure, there can be material success. But I find it even more evolved when that success is spiritual, which means helping change the consciousness of the world. Not just transforming your own mind, but helping transform everyone's mind. I guess as a Scorpio Mercury Lagna, I think everyone should know Jyotish. And I know in India, many families are raised with their children to know Jyotish. But in America, it is not as common. And I think all over the entire world, it's important that we understand Jyotish.
Yes, very true. Very true.
So
with the sign of Scorpio.
And my Mercury and Aunt Makarika is there. So I have to share the message.
Wow. Great work you are doing. And you see the Mercury, at the moment, Jupiter is also in the sign of a Scorpio. That is why there are so much new research, new things in religion, in astrology, in many fields, in science, technology also, a new research has been developing. So that's a kind of effect of Scorpio, Jupiter, where both are sharing their things together. Yeah, perfectly.
Yes, instead of people questioning astrology, I want them to want to understand how their karma works.
Yeah, right. Very true.
You know, and it's very interesting because in America, more people believe in karma every day. So, so in the consciousness of Americans, the belief in karma is still growing. Because I always ask my client, do you believe in karma? Because if they say no, we're going to have a problem.
Right. If they don't accept their own karmas, we can't change their karmas. Yeah.
Scorpio can be aggressive, though. I guess I can be sometimes aggressive with how I'm trying to express myself as well because of Mercury.
Penthouse Scorpio. Good. So moving ahead to the Sagittarius Dhanu. That's a complete name of a sign is Sagittarius in the English, but in the Sanskrita it is called Dhanush. Dhanush means arrow or bow and arrow. So Dhanush is also arrow, it's also a target, it's also a achievement, and the shortened name is a Dhanu. Normally people say Dhana means Dhana Rashi means wealth. No, it is not wealth. It says be focused. Now here the Sagittarius Ascendant or Moon is carried with the Jupiter, leading by the Jupiter, but dual Jupiter. See, Jupiter got both the sign as a dual. Jupiter got both the sign dual as like Mercury getting both the sign as a dual, because dual and Kendra to each other. These two signs only are a Kendra to each other, 3 to 6 and 9 to 12. Or from 12 to 9 also it is a Kendra. So Mercury and Jupiter always comes in the Kendra because they have to support each other. First thought has to be supported and second by the other's thought. If other thoughts has not been seconded, your first thought has no value. Same like this is the beginning of a Jupiter sign as a Sagittarius. Here the thought process start in the duality, and then it will be given that the two dimensions simultaneously, and Sagittarius and Pisces. But we are more focusing on the Sagittarius part. So Sagittarius or Dhanu, their symbol is also an arrow. Arrow means your aim, what your aim is there, and that is why in Kala Purusha it is placed in the ninth house. Ninth house is a house of your destiny. You should aim about your destiny. Is a sign, is a house and sign of spirituality or all your belief. the belief in the religion. So there also, in belief of religion also, it is say that person should have enlightenment, and that is why the sun sign is placed in the Sagittarius people in the fifth house. Now carrying the both kind of, because this is again a dual sign, Sagittarius, they are also carrying the fixed deeds as well as the movable deeds. From past life they have, or past time they have brought the movable deeds. That movable deeds they have to carry, and they have to convert into the fixed deeds. Because in ninth house there is a Leo sign, and in Leo sign you must have a fixed deeds. You can't have continue with the movable deeds. So that's Sagittarius or the Dhanu is balancing, of focusing on only one part, aiming towards the one part. And that is why I say archer has to be aimed perfectly to the its object, and he has to hit. So same with the speed, because the animal is a horse, which is very powerful in the speed, and another part is a human being, which is also very important and very means active person. So two things, an intellectual person and a speed of a horse, as given to the Sagittarius. Although people say that both dimensions are different, the person is looking on another side and horse is moving on the another side. That's your test. That is a test of a Sagittarius, that how you become concentrate, how you become a one. If you have a confidence, you will target the best, even though you are in the reverse speed. Even you are in the reverse speed, your target you will be able to achieve. So that is why that's a Sagittarius moon importance in the one's life. Simultaneously, they are also a Jupiter, Mars, and Sun triangle. Again, that triangle has appeared after the Aries and Leo ascendant. Here also it appears, but here the difference is that it is not so powerful in the sense of Mars being in the fifth house and Sun being in the ninth house. These two are the live planet. It is kept in the past life or in the future life. So here he has to only and only having a good life, good lifestyle, traditional lifestyle, being as a Sagittarius in the ascendant. So this kind of a people are balancing their own deeds with the aiming to extremity. They got the two extreme situations simultaneously, and then they are being more confused, and yet they have to balance. But Sagittarius ascendant, one thing is clear, that this is a Jupiter powerful sign. The other Aries is also Mars powerful sign, and Leo is also. But the placement has changed. Here the dimension is a spiritual level. He need to get an answer for the sake of a religion, for sake of a society, for sake of a mass of people. He is not satisfied for his life or her life, but he get more satisfaction when he turn, when he see to the others. So that kind of a Sagittarius people having a balance, and symbol is also dual, that has to be balanced. And in the 5 and 9 also, both the thing has to be in balance. So that's my input about the Sagittarius. I'm very positive after the Scorpio negative. I'm very very positive about the Sagittarius, and not being as it's my moon sign, but this gives real knowledge with the focused mind. So that's the greatness of a Sagittarius. You can think about it. You may add your inputs now, Kṣaṇāti, about the Sagittarius.
That's fantastic. My Shani is in Sagittarius and Mula Nakshatra.
Oh.
So I'm in my Shani return right now, and in Shani Mahadasha, so definitely strong Sagittarius vibrations. As I look into this, it's interesting because you're looking at a rulership of Jupiter, but then the Danus being a Pitta, a fire sign. So there's this element of Jupiter, which is mostly a Kapha planet, but then you have this element of Jupiter, which is sometimes not as much paid attention to, which is the fire element. Now, this manifests strongly in the Dharma of the individual. yes, Jupiter is high moral. Yes, Jupiter is high ethical. And there's this humanitarian energy. But as you get into the Sagittarius Lagna Dharma, they are the spiritual warrior, which means they are the freedom fighter. So that means they want something for the world, but in order for them to be happy, because it has to do with the physical condition, right? The balance of the dosha in the body, there needs to be a certain layer of freedom, fairness, and equality in the life of the Sagittarius Lagna in order for them to be happy. That means if they are not free, which means they're enslaved of some kind, if they're treated unfairly, if they're treated unequally, it's impossible for them to be happy. So a lot of times when there's very difficult position in Sagittarius, because we can talk about a beneficial position and we can talk about a non-beneficial position, but sometimes people with difficult positions in Sagittarius, they have to learn how to take discrimination, because there's this element of freedom, fairness, and equality in one's life. So that's what they're striving for. So sometimes when they experience discrimination, nobody says anything. In other words, someone in the room may say something which is racist and no one will say anything. But it is the Dhanus Lagna Dharma to call the ignorance out. They are the spiritual warrior. They are the freedom fighter. So they are able to go up to that person who is ignorant and has hatred, and you are to say that that was racist, that was ignorant, that was an unkind comment. There is this energy or evolution with the Sagittarius Lagna, which is to reach your full moral and ethical potential. And that sounds really good on paper, but it's a really hard process. It's a really hard process. So the Sagittarius Lagna lifelong is, what do I believe is right? What do I believe is wrong? What do I believe is good? What do I believe is evil? And all the time the people will bring in the religion to say, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is evil, this is not evil, because religion says so. So that's sometimes the connection between Sagittarius and the religion. But there is this strong connection in, how do I become the best person I can be? And Sagittarius Lagna is ruled by Guru Deva, Brihaspati, Jupiter. Jupiter wants us to be the greatest, to see the Guru within ourselves. So not only do we have to know what we believe, but we have to try to be that. We can't just talk the talk. It's easy to talk the talk. That's the easiest thing to do. But can you embody that? Can you represent that? This is the Dharma of the Sagittarius Lagna, not just to have good knowledge, because the Sagittarius Lagna, they are supposed to have good academic knowledge. But what's the point of having the knowledge if you can't do something to better society with it? If you can't do something to better the world with this? So it's more selfless or humanitarian on the full evolutionary energy of Dhanus. It's not just freedom, fairness, and equality for me, but freedom, fairness, and equality for you. And every single person out there deserves to have justice, liberty, and freedom in their life.
Right. Sagittarius is a very widest, because it contains the Mula Nakshatra. If we don't forget and don't go inside, so that is a Mula Nakshatra. So they want to go into the root of the things. Mula means roots. So they go into the roots of the things, then they will come with the final solution with the sun. Because nakshatra start with the Ketu, but end with the sun in the this Sagittarius sign. So this knowledge is in depth, more into the depth, and going to bring something different from what the people are expecting. So that's different things the people are going to enjoy.
That's why I always thought other forms of astrology lacked credibility, because when you go to the root of astrology, Vedic astrology is the most ancient form of astrology there is. So when you go to the root of astrology, you go to the Vedas. There's nothing more. There's nothing more closer to the root. How could any other form of astrology be close to the truth? Because it's just further away from the root.
Right, right. It's a pure form. Right. So moving ahead to the Capricorn, right?
Yes.
So now it's a Capricorn. Now it's a ruling ship of a Saturn comes with the soul of a sun, hided by the cover of a Capricorn. Capricorn Makara, and the lordship of a Saturn, and symbol is also confusing, that ram is with the mouth of a alligator, or the makar, because makar is a magar. Makar is a Sanskrit word which translates as a magar, means a crocodile. Magar means a crocodile. So this is a first sign of a Saturn as an ascendant. Then we'll see the Aquarius. Here happens that they will get a support of their social and family immediately when they call upon, because the second house also comprise the Aquarius sign, and with the very beautiful family. Now here the Karka, that's Capricorn sign, Makara Lagna. Here they are bringing, because here that's also a sign of this is also a sign of movable. So movable things which they are going to happen. So as like a Aries, as like a Cancer, they are also people continues changing their life, continues moving, because makar means to move around. So that's a Saturn sign, and due to the good placement of Saturn, person also get involved into certain activities which are going to have a prolong. The past deeds, just go back to this fifth house, will come to know they are brought a fixed kind of a deeds. So they are completing the fixed kind of deeds by taking education, by awarding the good people, by charity, by social. They are reached to the fixed source, fixed deeds, but that fixed deeds of a past life, he'll going to move in this life. Being a Capricorn, being a movable sign, he'll try to give the pleasure to others also. And that is why in this ascendant, the Yokaraka planet is Venus, which gives the crux, which gives the good benefit to the humankind. And what the Capricorn are going to carry, they are going to carry a Mercury, an intellectual level, but that is also in the part of a next life, where they are going to have a dual kind of nature. What they brought from past life, it's a fixed karmas. What they are performing today is a movable karmas, or kind of a changing. But what they will carry to the next life is a compilation of both the deeds. Which are the deeds will prevail, that's going to have the life path. So that is about the Capricorn. The depthness of a Saturn, or the more inclination of about the Saturn, will not find in the Capricorn, that are to be seen in the Aquarius Ascendant. Here the Aquarius is not so comfortable, so the action, the what action or what deeds one has to need for the Capricorn people will not going to happen. So all the fixed deeds converted into the routine deeds in this life, they are going to enjoy in the next life a dual kind of stability in their life, dual kind of good result in their life. So that's all about the Capricorn. Very little to say about the Capricorn, because Capricorn always are being good follower. They are very good follower. So they always, being a certain sign lord, they always say just travel, just move away, and then you find a real crux of the life. So that's a Capricorn. You may add your inputs now.
Yes, now we get to Makara, the Saturn, Kumbha, the Shani ruled Lagna. And this is interesting point in the evolution of the zodiac. As we get into that crocodile analogy that was mentioned, one thing that I want to mention about crocodiles is that they have hard skin. They have very hard
That's a Saturn.
And this is very much like the karma and the dharma of the crocodile of the Capricorn Lagna.
Cheating.
We know with Lord Shani, that there is Shanishtaraya, the slow-moving planet, that there are certain delays. But also, in general, Shani has to do with something having to our karmic retribution and our karmic debt. And this has to do with overcome certain adversities, having to pay our karmic debt, having to overcome certain obstacles, having to overcome certain hurdles. And when your life is full of adversities and obstacles and delays and hurdles, then this gives you crocodile-like skin. And what you are able, another analogy is that if you fall back off the horse, that you get back on again. This is the Dharma of the Capricorn Lagna. Both Capricorn and Cancer can have emotion. The issue is the Cancer person fall off the horse and cry, and the Capricorn Lagna might get back on the horse. Now, that's just an astrology joke. I don't mean to be bad on Cancer Lagna.
No, all the ascendant are equal, but there are something peculiarity of every ascendant that lies in the persons, that lies on the person who born in this. So very truly said about the Capricorn. I like that very thin skin. Yeah, that's something one has to see who's using the crocodile brand items. So they also turn, because it's very costly, and those who purchase them, they are also having a very thin skin.
I think they're sacred animals. But one thing that is that with the Capricorn Lagna and strong Capricorn position in the chart and its influence on the Dharma, to know that there is a direct relationship between adversity and success. So that means that you have to experience obstacle. You have to experience delay in order for success to come to you. As we mentioned before, Saturn is a planet that delays, but it does not deny. And Capricorn energy has a similar energy, that if you keep working hard, there may be one day that you want to give up because you keep work, and you think you're paying
no result.
And you think there will be a reward, but there is no reward. So you want to give up, so you throw in the towel. Well, guess what? The next day when you go back in, that is when you get the promotion. That is when you get the advancement. That is when you get the stability and security. So I say, yes, be ready to digest adversity. Be ready to develop tough skin and develop yourself to be able to handle being thrown off the horse, and never give up, because there is success on the other side, or the simple saying, the grass is greener on the other side. For Capricorn Lagna, the grass is greener on the other side, but you have to keep working. You have to keep pushing. You cannot give up.
Right. Very true. Very true. So that's Capricorn. And the second part of same Saturn, the other side of a coin of Saturn is Aquarius. Aquarius being a continuity of a Capricorn, here it will be more and more in depth and more solid people. Because a Saturn Mool Trikon sign is also a Capricorn, Aquarius, and own sign is also an Aquarius. So here the Saturn is more stronger, more powerful, and that is why they got everything in the delay. Those having a Capricorn ascendant, at least they start gaining by age of 30. But those having a Aquarius ascendant, they'll start the things moving after 35, 36 only. So that's the hardness and softness about the Saturn we are discussing. So the more core part of a Aquarius ascendant is that they are not so social. They are hate of a mass. They are not going deep with any relationship, because we see the Capricorn sign, the symbol is like a water pot. Now by seeing outside, you will not able to judge whether the pot is fully filled, halfly filled, or it's empty. The same thing that Capricorn, Aquarius people, you will find afterward that what they possess that cannot be identified by any person. So that's a great thing this Saturn people is having. And once they decide that I want to do this, they never backstep. They'll go further only and going to complete all the deeds which is required. Now, creating deeds, we know that in fifth house, there's Venus, Gemini is there, Mithuna Rashi is there. That's also dual. And in the ninth house, it will be Libra. That is more about Vayu Tattva. That's Chara, means movable. So, of a past life, of the past life of the person being Aquarius is a Gemini, having an intellectual level, aware about what they have done earlier also. Suppose they are doing any deeds, they are aware that this thing has been either happened or it is a result of some deeds which they have performed. So Aquarius people come to know instinct very fast, and due to that fast instinct, they are also going to have a good life ahead also. Many struggle is there, but after 36, that Saturn turn into to such a positive way that you are not going to suffer anything and going to get a good result only. Aquarius having the past as a Gemini being a dual sign, some of benefit will be carried forward from this, but the next life will be a purely a Libra, a powerful sign of Venus, and where they are going to enjoy. So hard work in this life, efforts of a past life, and simultaneously they'll be getting a good result in their next life. So next life they are going to enjoy like anything. So this is a Aquarius. The solid karmas will be always in front of them, but some of manipulation, some of arrangement they can make due to the Gemini in the fifth house. So this way, this ascendant Kumbha Lagna, even though it is possessing so much in depth, they are not giving the things to the society that has to be started. So being it's Aquarius ascendant and the ninth house is occupied by Venus, they always try to balance their luck. They always try to balance their luck and try to meet certain things in the balancing format. So that's all about the Aquarius. Now I hope Kṣaṇāti will give us too much inputs about the Aquarius, because that's a mirror effect of himself. So please continue.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dharmesh. Yes, I am Kumbha Lagna, and this is Vata sign, and I have Rahu there as well. This is a very interesting position as mentioned. And by the way, Dr. Dharmesh, I have to say, you have me very excited for my next life.
Yes.
Because
yes.
But I know all the work in this lifetime, I have so much work to do. But it's nice to know, to remind me of the that is very
next life.
But yes, the Kumbha vibration, it's a responsibility. Traditionally, different astrologers or different writers would say, oh, Kumbha is the cursed Lagna. Now, I don't think anyone should say that any sign is cursed, but it has been written it has been in a book. It's been in a book somewhere. So,
yeah.
But the reason that is there's a lot of fixed karmic responsibility. Now, one of the things that comes with this is that that the native's consciousness, if you're Aquarius Lagna, then your consciousness is supposed to be aligned with the collective consciousness. Collective consciousness means like a group of people will share a similar type of thinking. So, but there are different types of collective consciousnesses. There is advanced collective consciousness, which is where, you know, everyone is equal, everything is fair, everyone deserves truth and rights, and everything is beautiful. And then there are other collective consciousness where there is hate. But So, but generally speaking, the dharma of the Kumbha Lagna is to be aligned with the advanced collective consciousness. That's just the first layer of it. But if Aquarius is really in a hard position, you could be aligned to the wrong collective consciousness. In other words, your consciousness might be with another group consciousness, which is not necessarily benefiting humanity or society. When really the energy of the Kumbha Lagna is what collective consciousness can I be a part of in order to advance the world, in order to advance the society, because the energy of Kumbha is innovation. Innovation, which means I'm able to perceive what is coming. I'm able to perceive what the future is. But we are never able to actually perceive the future. But there is this sense of being able to see trends and being able to see different patterns and things like that. But just being aligned with the collective consciousness, that's just the first step of being Aquarius Lagna. So hopefully if you're Aquarius Lagna, the consciousness which you're aligned to is advanced, and it supports freedom, fairness, and equality for all beings, regardless of any criteria. I hope that as an Aquarius Lagna, that is the type of collective consciousness you're a part of. Then you have to take the ignorant people. You have to take the racist, the racist people, the people who do not have consciousness of God, the people who not have consciousness of astrology, and show them the light. And that is what the spilling of the pot is. It's sharing it with those, helping other people get higher in their consciousness, stop doubting God, stop doubting astrology, starting able to see the light. And so there's this energy of removing the ignorance of the, yes, it's good for your consciousness to stay advanced if you're a Kumbha Lagna, but you also have to help those whose consciousness aren't advanced. You have to help those people who are ignorant, who do not know what karma is, who do not know what spirituality is. You have to advance their consciousness as well. And still today, as in this time that we're living in, we see all sorts of discrimination. As an Aquarius Lagna with Rahu, I believe in the future we will be a time where there is no discrimination between people.
See, why the Aquarius people has been misunderstood by others, that is a symbol given to the sign. The symbol is given as a earthen pot. That the earthen pot has been kept and it is a pouring. While pouring, you will never come to know that when it is going to end. And by keeping it in the straight mode, you will never know whether it is empty, whether it is full. So that confusion people keep in the mind, because people are those facing the Aquarius, they are all the Leo people, because the opposite is a Leo. So they are already aware. They have their conscious, but their conscious is not allowing that other also know something. So that kind of a ego, that kind of a things always find in front of the Aquarius people, and they'll be morely misunderstood by the other people. So that's what I have seen in the Aquarius.
I think you'll find it interesting that my wife is a Leo Maga Ascendant.
Oh, a perfect pair, where you both are looking in the mirror effect. What you are looking, you are getting. What she is looking, she is getting. Oh, great. So both are opposite to each other and in the same window facing the same face. Good to know. So now it's remaining is a Pisces, Meena Rashi. And when we see about to complete anything, so what we do, see, suppose in the office also, and or otherwise in the workstation, or whether we are sleeping, whatever we are doing, at the end we accumulate everything and we just want to finish. That finishing things is found in the Pisces. The Pisces has a accumulation of all good things, average thing, moderate things, of all combined joint nature that comes under the Pisces. The Pisces itself as a symbol wise, you see, it's a fish, can't be stable. And again, that fish got the watery sign. Watery sign fish means always being sailing. Their life will not be caused anywhere, and they will be going to enjoy everything. So that Pisces shows that how emotions you are. We have seen the emotional level in the Cancer. We have seen the emotional level in the Scorpio. Now that is the last emotional sign of Moksha Trikona. That is Vrishik, means a Cancer, Scorpio, and this Pisces. Now we are talking about the Pisces. The last sign, or the Kalpurush 12th sign, is a sign of nature. This kind of a people of Scorpio, this Pisces ascendant, they are very close to the nature. They sometimes get an instinct from nature also. Highly emotional, because fifth house is also water, ninth house is also water. In fifth house, they are comprising with the Cancer sign. So that's a highly moon and highly in the motion. Whereas in the ninth house, they are comprising with the Scorpio, and where Scorpio are dominating by the Mars. So there is a strong feeling, strong determination of the people. This kind of a Pisces people, that also one of our ascendant, I have hardly found in my consultation. Aries and Pisces. Because Pisces, even though there's so many positive, negative things, they are very good with the kind nature. The nature of a kindness, because it's a sign of a nature. 12th house is a sign of a nature, so they are very kind to the nature and never being harm anyone. They never going to harm anyone, as well as their past deeds are also floating, and their future deeds about to end, and they will not encumbrance anything. Pisces is the only ascendant where there is a complete of a deeds, because the 12th house we call as a moksha house. So this is a Kalpurush 12th sign, and by which if they able to do something reality, it will be good. Only caution I have to put for the Pisces ascendant is they are very much in the illusionary nature. They are into the different kind of a thoughts. They have a projection, but in projection they put themselves as the center, and because of this, the project gets spoiled. So it is better to only and only concentrate and focus about the things you are doing, and not to drawn by any individual, any people in the society. Being a last, it carries all the ascendant, good and bad deeds, good and bad nature. So by this, they are going to enjoy everything in the mix in total. Here in this life, they are doing the both. It's a being it's a dual sign is going to have all kind of availability in this their nature, their surrounding, with the movable deeds that they have done in the past life, and these both will join, and in next life it will only balance with the fixed kind of a deeds. So they turn their movable deeds, complete their deeds, and then only and only focus about the future deeds. So this way the Pisces ascendant has a something unique, is that they are accepting everything. Being Jupiter lordship, they are accepting as a positively and getting a good result. So I like a Pisces ascendant. So that's my view. You can put your views now.
Thank you, Dr. Dharmesh. I really like that you use the word completion, because completion is an interesting thing. When we're talking about
Yeah,
the nakshatras, we're talking about
yeah,
the end of the nakshatras. When we're talking about the Rashi, we're talking about the end of the Rashi in Meena. So this is very significant, this completion. There are many different ways that we approach completion, but as a moksha karaka, as an indicator for moksha, there are many different types of moksha. There's maha samadhi, there's samadhi,
yeah,
there's not being afraid of death. There's also variations of what this moksha is. But if you're a Pisces Lagna, it's important. One thing that I think is important to understand is that our consciousness creates our reality, or our consciousness manifests our reality, which means whatever beliefs we have, those are the beliefs. Those are what is going to be our experience. So this is a very mystical type of philosophical, and people with Pisces Lagna can kind of have this energy as, oh, what is the meaning of life, and how do I create meaning out of life? But as far as the evolutionary energy, I think that the Pisces Lagna, they have to believe in something greater than themselves. So I think that the evolution of the Pisces Lagna becomes blocked if you don't think that there's anything greater than yourself. Now, in English, we have this word God. And so I'm not going to say, okay, the Pisces Lagna, you have to believe in God, but because God is not a good word. God is a poor translation. But there, for the Pisces Lagna, you have to believe that there is something beyond your human being which is greater than you. And we can call this the universe. We can call this the divine energy. We can call this the devas. We can call this Brahma or Vishnu or Shiva or Kali or Saraswati or Lakshmi or Buddha or Christ or Hashem or whatever Allah, whatever type of name that the individual wants to give to God, that God or whatever it is, you have to believe in something greater than yourself. So I think that for the evolution of the Pisces Lagna is it over the course of your lifetime, and there can be confusion depending on Jupiter's position in terms of what to believe, especially if you have Guru Chandal Yoga. Maybe you were, maybe that means you were a Scientologist.
Right.
Right. Or Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
Yes. Yes, please, Dr. Dharmesh.
Yeah, being coming to the end of this, they are also winding up during their life. I've seen the Pisces Ascendant people during their life, during they are still alive, they start winding up. If they have started a business, they will see that their child are not going to appear. They will winding up. They give to others. So that kind of awareness that one day I have to move. One day I have to left everything from the here only, and I have to move. That kind of inner, we can call as a inner sense, is always being in the Pisces, and being it's a nature sign. 12th house is a nature sign. You'll be always having a inclination or some blessing from the celestial, and that makes your work more comfortable and more enjoyable. So that kind of ending picture, this is going to happen very well in the terms of a spirituality.
Yes, I think the Pisces Lagna asked the spiritual question: where am I going? Where am I going when I die? and they also asked the question: where did I come from?
Oh, okay.
And
first of all, you have to know that only.
There are so many good answers, but none is wrong and none is right.
Right, obviously, so because we don't know. Yeah. See, Pisces sign, if you see it's Kalpurush 12th house, okay. The organ which it affect in the body is your soul part that you can't see immediately. The part of your backside, their subconscious mind, you can't see. And even the 12th house things, it happens with you, you will not complain. Suppose you have done the loss, you will not complain. That's a society will come again and again and harass you. You have made loss, you have made. So this is not a sign of a Pisces moon or Pisces Ascendant. They are not blame anyone, but people will start blaming them. So that's kind of a challenges the person or has to face always.
Yes, yes. And one more thing about Pisces is they have a Dharma to be a bridge, to be a bridge.
Yes,
And you can think
yes,
of the one place on the side of the bridge, the Sanskrit word is Svarga, what
Virgo. Yeah,
was the celestial dimension. And
yeah,
the other side of the bridge is Earth. So the
right.
Pisces Lugna, they have this, again, responsibility, not an easy one, to be a bridge between Svarga and Earth.
Hmm,
Strong Pisces position, they have this duty, especially,
right.
like you said, fifth house, ninth house, sun, moon, powerful position in Pisces. So what happens is the difficulty or the karmic pattern that the Pisces Lugna gets stuck in is they can choose
Hmm,
one side of the bridge or the other. So
right.
if they choose Svarga, which means
Hmm.
they climb up to Svarga and then they drop the ladder, then they are homeless. They
Yeah.
they probably live in ashram. They don't have job. They don't have family. They don't have children. They don't have any home. This is like the life of a sadhu.
Right. Saint. Right. Very true.
Um,
But they are somewhat aware about their deeds. That is something being seen, that being a ninth house, it is a sign of a Scorpio. So they are in search of their life, own life. They are in search, because search we see that the Scorpios are. So they are search of their life. Maybe they are not able to find out the real cause, but at least they will going to touch the deeds of themselves in the other way. So that good sound for this Pisces ascendant.
Exactly. They will try to go to resolve their karma through their deeds with the through the ashram. So
Yeah.
but it will be hard. So that is also, it's not good or bad, but it happens sometimes. Now on the other side of it is you could abandon being the bridge and just go to Earth, which means
Yeah.
which means you can abandon Svarga. And if you and if you abandon Svarga, then you probably drink alcohol, and you probably drink lots of alcohol, or you do other things which cut you off from your relationship with the God. So
Right.
maybe
Right.
you have sexual perversion, maybe you have addiction or alcoholism, but sometimes being the bridge, which means you have to pay attention to God, you have to pay attention to what is greater. Maybe that you try to escape that, and
Right.
that's why there is association with, I've seen in my charts, with alcoholism or addiction with the Pisces Lugna, because they want to escape their connection with God, and you cannot
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. That's having a fear of uncertainty, because the 12th house, 12th sign denotes to the insecurity, instability. So you'll never know what is going to happen in just a few minutes. And because of that, they are creating anxiety. Because of that, they are not able to enjoy also certain things. So that kind of a Pisces, being a last ascendant, that's all the qualities of from Aries to Aquarius, whatever is being balanced, it will be packed up and it will be given to the Pisces. So that's my observation.
Mhm. Yes, and I always am inspired by Pisces people, and they always remind me of, they're always so open-minded about spiritual possibilities or potentials, you know? So
Right.
if you're very Mercury-oriented, you're a very
Hmm.
rational, logical-minded person, then the Pisces, and that's
Yeah.
why Virgo is opposite Pisces, and Pisces is opposite Virgo, because those energies, you need that. Otherwise, they kind of help balance each other in some way.
Yeah. You can't trust anyone. So you have to make your system proof with yourself only. Right. Perfectly.
Yeah, it's like they say to have faith, but if you were to go into a store, having faith doesn't mean leaving your camel outside the store, because if you leave your camel outside the store, it's run away. Having faith means to tie your camel up by the store, then go in the store. So you can have faith and also do what is logical. And this is the balance of that, like Pisces Virgo axis.
Right. Truly, very truly explained. So by this, we have completed the second package of Libra to Pisces. And you may give or you may share the this new video which we are going to do in the very soon time, so that good news can be used by the people. So you may share this.
Thank you, Dr. Dharmesh Mehta. We'll surely be sharing this, and we're working on a future project together where we are going to discuss all of the different grahas and their new aspects and evolutionary energies associated with. So Dr. Dharmesh and I have some very exciting projects. We're also doing a summit together in August on Dasha with some other notable astrologers. So please check that out and register. And just thank you so much for everyone who gave this video viewership. And thank you, Dr. Dharmesh, for your wisdom and always in gratitude. Thank you.
I also admire your research, because in very young age you have also started, and I can see and foresee and forecast that you will be also reaching in the very great height within the very soon time when the Saturn will come to Aquarius. So so we are just bless us to serve you better and better, and give us a strength so that we make certain videos and give you a kind of a knowledge, which little knowledge we have, we always try to help you out. So thank you very much, viewers, and thank you very much, Kṣaṇāti. We'll soon join together for next session.